Before we start, I'd like to point out the version of PhpStorm I'm currently using, because some of the keyboard shortcuts I'm going to use might actually be different in other versions of PhpStorm, but in general they will most likely be the same. And also default keyboard shortcuts depend on the option in the setting. If we'll open up Keymap section, there is this drop-down, where you can choose default set of keyboard shortcuts. In my case, I'm using macOS. And now that we got that out of the way, let's start reviewing keyboard shortcuts that allow us to navigate between files. And to demonstrate these shortcuts, I'm gonna open up a couple of files first. As you might have noticed, I usually keep my tabs hidden, but for the purpose of this lesson, I'll switch over to the settings, find a setting called Tab Placement, and show tabs at the top. As you can see now, tabs are shown. So two shortcuts that we are going to start with are responsible for navigating between tabs to the left and to the right. To move to the previous tab, we have to press Command-Shift, opening square bracket. And to move to the right, we have to press Command-Shift, closing square bracket. And besides switching between tabs, we can also use keyboard shortcuts to move between recent locations, not only in different files, but also within the same file. And what I mean by that is this. For example, let's modify this file by adding an empty line at the beginning of the class and at the end of the class. And also, let's remove one of these methods. And to quickly navigate between all those places where we had the cursor, we can use the following shortcuts. Command opening square bracket to navigate backward to the previous cursor location, and Command closing square bracket to navigate to next cursor position. And as you can see, while I'm pressing those shortcuts, cursor is moving between the places where I have made modifications. And regardless where I have made that modification, whether it is in the same file or in completely different file, by pressing Command opening square bracket or closing square bracket, we're going to navigate between recent cursor positions. And to see all those recent locations, we can press Command-Shift-E. We'll get such a window where we can use arrow up or arrow down to navigate through this list. And by pressing Enter, we can quickly jump to the selected location. Also, to see only those places where we have made any modifications, we can press Command-Shift-E second time to activate this option, and this way we're seeing only modified locations. Another useful shortcut allows us to quickly navigate to the last modified location. So I'm going to modify this method by removing everything from the body, and then navigate to a different file. And now to quickly go back to the last modified location, I'll press Command-Shift backspace, and there we go. And besides navigating to a particular location by using the recent locations window, we can also manipulate this list by removing entries from it. To remove certain entry, we just have to select it and press backspace, like so. And this way the entry will be removed from the history of recent locations. In addition to that, we can also use search. In this window, we just have to start typing, and this way, list entries will be filtered by the text that has been found within certain location. Another way to navigate between recently opened files is using the Recent Files dialog. To open up this window, we can press Command-E. In this window, we can see the list of recently opened files. We can use arrow up or down to navigate between these files. And to open a particular file, we have to press Enter. Also, we can use search. As always, we just have to start typing, and the list will be narrowed. And to show only those files that have been modified, we have to press Command-E second time to activate this option. And just like in the recent location window, we can also remove entries from this list by pressing backspace. Moving on, let's open up sidebar by pressing Command-1, and now I'm gonna open a couple of files. And please note, as I'm opening files, they're not getting focus in the File Explorer. I usually like to have those files focused in the Explorer when I open them, so I'm gonna activate the following setting, called Always Select Opened File. So now let's open up a couple more files, and as you can see, after opening the file, it gets focus in the File Explorer. So all that functionality that we have reviewed in this lesson is also available via Global Search Panel. To open up window with recent files, we can run recent files command. To open up window with recent locations, we can run recent locations command. Some of these commands might have keyboard shortcut assigned to them. That way it will be displayed right next to the command. But if certain commands do not have keyboard shortcuts, we can always assign them by pressing Option Enter or reassign existing keyboard shortcuts. Another way to navigate through project files is to use navigation bar located at the bottom. To put focus at this navigation bar, we have to press Command Arrow up. And here we can use arrows to navigate between project files. By the way, search works here as well. We just have to start typing and the list with files will be narrowed. And to open up selected file, we have to press Enter. And that's about it. In this lesson we have reviewed several ways how we can navigate between project files.